Hey guys, it's Robert Schultz here. You are subscribed to my list, and I just wanted to show my appreciation and introduce myself. Some of you have seen me before. Anybody that's new obviously hasn't. I just want to, in this video, I just want to accomplish a couple of things for you. Number one is I wanted to share with you a little bit about my story so you can get to know me. Put a face to the name that's in the emails that you're getting to let you know that I'm a real person, that I care, and you know, a lot of people probably wonder why, but in network marketing, we may never meet in person, but we do care, because if we help you, it helps us, and that's the wonderful thing about this business. And so, you know, and besides, and at the end of this, I want to kind of give you, after I tell you a little bit about me, I'm going to give you a little bit of an exercise that's going to help you figure out whether this is something, this entire industry as a whole is something that you want to get involved with, or should you just stay with your, you know, with a job and trading time for money. So I'm a corporate guy. You know, I went to college for 5 years, became an accountant. You know, I was working 70, 80 hours a week, worked my way up the ladder. I always had a ceiling on my income, living paycheck to paycheck. You know, everybody thought it was that I was this, you know, big executive guy at an early age, and, you know, I drove a nice car, but I was constantly in debt, constantly enslaved, because I was always at work. I didn't have a life. And when you don't have a life and you give all your time to your job and all your time to your boss, and then at the end of it all, you don't have the money to go with it, it kind of bites. So, you know, I always had this personality. I don't think accounting, even though I was really good at it, I don't think that it was the thing that was right for me, because I was always down in the sales office. So I thought, man, I should probably be in sales. And it was a very difficult transition to find a job that would take an accountant who was successful, who got to where I was at, successful as far as running up the corporate ladder, and to hire me. But I had a really good company that hired me, and I moved here to California from Michigan, and I started there, and I moved up really quickly and was making a bunch of money. But the thing is every time I made more money, they kept cutting me back. They cutting my territory, cutting the comp plan, and it was just getting frustrating. And so finally in 2005, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was that book opened my eyes to a whole new world, because I grew up with an industrial age upbringing. You know, go to school, get good grades, you know, go to college, get a good job, work there for 40 years. Well, that was over. I mean, I got downside. I was very successful, but I was a low man on the totem pole. My first job as a budget analyst with a $1 billion company, I got cut on a project that I did the project on. I did such a great job. I wrote myself out of my own job. So there was no working at another company for 40 years, or working for a company at 40 years at that point. And as I started to, you know, go down the process of my career, I realized that the better that I did, the more that the company wanted to cut me back. There was always going to be a ceiling in some way, shape, or form, and I was always going to be under their thumb to, you know, when do I want to go, or can I go to the bathroom? Can I take a day off? Can I go on vacation? How many vacation days can I have? And did I want to live that way the rest of my life? And then I thought, well, I don't have a family yet back then. I do now. Do I want to have a family where I'm going to have my kids in daycare and having someone else raise them? And so in 2005, I got married, and I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which changed everything for me. And if you haven't read that book, I highly encourage going out and reading that. And it taught me that trading time for money is just one way to make a living. The other way is what business owners had, which was making profits, right? And leverage. We all have the same 24 hours a day. So how does Donald Trump and Warren Buffett and those guys do it? They do it through leverage. How can you have 400 businesses and we all have the same 24 hours? It's leverage. So how do you get that? How does the average guy like me be able to get that? Well, they recommended network marketing. And so all I knew of network marketing is you got to bug your friends and family, right? So I wasn't really big on that, because I talked to my neighbors about it, and they said, well, here's the deal. Those things don't work. They're scams. They're whatever. So I took that to heart before I read that book, So I never really looked at anything that anybody introduced me to, and which was a mistake. So when I look back and I considered the source, my neighbors were broke. They didn't have anything. And so why would I take advice, financial advice or career advice, from somebody that didn't have anything or have what it is that I wanted? So I did more research and I read some more books, and I found out that this is the network marketing industry is the most powerful industry for anybody to have success in at a very low startup cost. Because I could go out there in any system that's been created, like network marketing. There's franchises, right? Franchise. If I were to go out and start a BW3s, which is Buffalo Wild Wings, or a Planet Fitness or something like that, it requires a lot of startup capital, a lot of risk. We're talking over $1 million in cash just to get started, and I don't have that, and so I started looking around, and I was introduced to another MLM company, and so I started with that. I'm still a member there, still a representative there outside of the Empower Network. And when I was it's bought my time back. It's been awesome. But I have to, in that particular business, although I love it, I still have to go out to this day and recruit people. I have to have home parties. I have to have, I'm constantly going out there and building belly to belly, or on the phone all day, and it's like having another job, right? It's given me a lot of freedom. It gives me the ability to stay home, but I wanted something a little bit more to add to that. So Empower Network, I actually was at another event for my other MLM, and I saw a bunch of Empower Network people. I'm like, what is that? And they're like, it's internet marketing. And they're like, we're having our convention at the same time I was having my other one. So I went and looked and stayed and stuck around, and realized that internet marketing, you don't have to do any of the stuff that I was doing. I could be making money around the clock like I do without all that work, without all that crazy stuff. And I'm like, well, can I do this? Because I don't have the technology. I don't know how to build websites. I don't know how to do any of the stuff that I perceived in my head that I was going to have to do. It's all done for you with Empower. All I had to do was click on the button, start at the $25 with the blogging platform, get my Aweber account, get my affiliate account started, and then just start applying the fast start training, right? Which is, if you can read or listen and type a few words, chicken peck the information, anything that you might have to do, and learn how to copy and paste on a computer, you're there. That's all that you need to have to get this thing up and moving. And so this thing has been a huge blessing. And now I've got 2 streams of income, and that's what I'm coming to you as, because now I've got a viable system of online marketing that's global, in the entire global economy, not just here in the United States, but all over the world, that works for me 24/7 on autopilot. It's an automated system. So when you're doing your homework, make sure you take a look at the video all the way through, all 49 minutes of it. And then when you get done, click on the $25 product blog and get started. And I'll get you on our team, all of our team websites, all of our team Facebook pages. I'll get you introduced to the team. We have wake up success calls on Monday through Thursday, which you're not required to do anything. This is your business. This is your deal. But we have all this incredible support. And we'll walk you through step by step on what to do to get started, to get your mindset right, to keep you successful. And it's just such a blessing to be able to have that, to be able to be home with your kids. I mean, my daughter just a little bit ago, I'm walking to the refrigerator. She goes, "Daddy, will you dance with me?" Can you do that when you're at work? No, you can't. But in the middle of my day, as I'm sitting here tinkering around the house, my daughter can say, I'm home every day. And that's priceless. That's worth it all in itself. So I didn't used to be able to do that And taking the home-based business industry has allowed me to do that. And the vehicle that I'm using right now is the Empower Network to get there, or to stay there, and to build upon what I've already built in my other company. So with that said, there's an exercise that I want to have you go through. You know, we all say, you know, you clicked on and subscribe to this to be able to get more information, and there's a reason for that. Maybe it's because you want to fire your boss. You're tired of all the same things I was tired of. Maybe you want to spend more time with your kids, or take more vacations, or whatever. Maybe it's just to make an extra $300 a month, or an extra $30,000 a month, or an extra $300,000 a month. I don't know what your reasons why are, but that's your focus. You see, there's some reason why you clicked on that. So what I want you to do is, I want you to write down, get a pen and paper and write this down. I want you to write, it's not just about money. The money's going to get you something. And so what is that? Is it going to be to be able to buy your time back? Is it to, you know, pay off some debt, some credit cards, some whatever it is it may be for you? Write that down. And then, you know, put a date on it. Put a date on it, like, you know, say 3 months from now, and say, look, I'm going to start with Empower Network. I'm going to buy the $25 system. I'm going to click on the button right now. I'm going to put my credit card information in. I'm going to start going through the 8 core commitments and the steps that they tell me to do, because it's just that simple. And then I'm going to start applying everything that they tell me to do, which is very easy. Anybody can do it. Okay? And as I start doing that, I'm going to start going down the road of action that's going to lead me to this point of being able to achieve these things that I want, right? So if I've got a 5-year-old daughter or a 10-year-old son, and I don't get to go to his ball games, I want to be able to attend those ball games, right? So if that's your why, put that down. But what I want you to do is, I want you to go beyond that. I want you to take a look and close your eyes and visualize and think what that's going to feel like, to be able to walk in and tell your boss you're no longer, that his services are no longer needed, right? You're going to be able to fire him. Are you going to feel exhilarated? What's it going to sound like when you're walking through the office? Are people going to cheer you on? Are they in shock? Is your heart pumping like crazy? What is it that is there that makes you feel the way that you do? What's it smell like there? Do you smell the coffee from the break room? On your way there to the office, is what's playing on the radio? Get real vivid. Is it raining out? Is it sunny out? What is that? And get real vivid about what that day is going to look like for you, and put your why at the top of that. What is it going to be like? What's it going to feel like when your child, or when your significant other, or whatever it may be, whatever it is for you, you're able to do something that you haven't been able to do in your life in that moment? That you're going to have all those options that this is going to be able to give to you. What's it going to feel like? Okay, so you're going to be able to have all of that when you put the actions behind it, and put all the steps in place of everything that we're going to teach you, and you take action. You'll be able to achieve those things as long as you get involved and take action and don't quit. It's really that simple. So do that exercise. Make sure that you, at the end of that exercise, if this business isn't something that looks good for you, this industry isn't something that, you don't have dreams, you don't want dreams, you don't want options, you don't want any of that stuff, then just stick with your job, and it's okay. It's okay to be that way. Having freedom isn't for everyone, but it is for me, and it is for a lot of you that are watching this right now. And so do that. Get started right away. Let's get you on the fast track within the next 24 hours. You can do it. I've got your back. Team Extreme has got your back. We want to help you. So be a part of the team, and I will see you soon. All right? Click on and carry on. Bye.